Hi, this is Tisch Aitken, and this is your weekly report. It is March 9th, 2022, and I decided in all of this Neptunian energy to plan ahead and start doing videos further along in the month. So that's a good idea when things can feel very emotional and sensitive, but not completely linear. So today it is March 9th, and currently Jupiter, the Grand Benefic, the Sun, and Neptune are all conjunct in the mutable water sign of Pisces. And Jupiter expands whatever it touches. And right now, it's in its dignity in Pisces. It rules Pisces in ancient astrology. It's the planet of good fortune, expansion, opportunity, and hope. And it's expanding through feeling the emotions, feeling what it would be like to achieve certain goals you have, feeling empathy and love, connecting very strongly to your intuition, your dreams, and your imagination. The Sun is also transiting in Pisces, Neptune, which is the modern ruler of Pisces, and Jupiter and Neptune are transiting together now, and they will be through the middle end of April. They're going to peak from April 9th through April 12th at 23 degrees of the mutable water sign of Pisces. So this is very emotionally driven, intuitive, psychic energy, and it is very, very vulnerable and sensitive, but it's also very magical for manifesting, healing, working with meditation, crystals, and intentional meditation as well, with working with really trying to manifest certain goals through your imagination and suspension of disbelief. Later today, Mercury, which is the planet of learning, transportation, information, marketing, and sales, is currently transiting at the final degree of Aquarius. It's going to exit the sign of Aquarius and enter the mutable water sign of Pisces at 8:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where it will transit through March 27th. And this is more Neptunian, Piscean energy. Mercury in Pisces is all about the emotions. It's not about the words. It's technically in its detriment while in Pisces because it rules the opposite sign of Virgo, but it is so intuitive. So it's really trusting your feelings, your intuition, and it's also really good for magical thinking, for manifesting, and really creative. So it's helpful in that regard. And today I'm here to talk about the full moon that occurs on March 18th at 27 degrees and 40 minutes of the mutable earth sign of Virgo. Now, the full moon occurs the day after St. Patrick's Day, and on that date, Mercury, which is communication and information, forms a helpful aspect to Uranus, very innovative, social, and fun, unpredictable energy, but in a good way because they're forming what's known as a sextile, and that's an aspect of opportunity. So a lot of brainstorming and socializing on March 17th. The full moon occurs on March 18th at 12:18 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So a lot of people do celebrate St. Patrick's Day, and during the full moon, sometimes people tend to indulge a little more, particularly when in Pisces season. So just kind of try to keep grounded in that regard. But on the day of the full moon, I cast the chart for Washington, D.C., and the ascendant is Capricorn rising. Therefore, Saturn is the ruler of the chart. And there is a stellium of planets transiting in the second house of income, money, creativity, and natural resources. Juno, which is an asteroid of partnering, is in Aquarius, and it's conjunct Saturn, the planet of responsibility and karma and structure. They're both transiting in Aquarius in the house of income and creativity. And then there is also a stellium of planets in Pisces. Mercury, the planet of communication. Jupiter, the planet of expansion and abundance. Neptune, the planet of dreams and imagination. And the Sun is also transiting in Pisces. Mercury is conjunct Jupiter by 5 degrees. Jupiter is conjunct Neptune, both the rulers of Pisces. Jupiter is the vision, Neptune is the dream, very manifesting energy, which will peak from April 9th through April 12th, when they become exactly conjunct in the sky at 23 degrees of Pisces. So we're building up to that story. That's a very manifesting, magical energy. However, again, those are both the rulers. Jupiter is the ancient ruler of Pisces. Neptune is the modern ruler. This could expand the desire to escape. This could expand heavy emotions. It could conceivably expand fear. And that's the lower or more challenging side of Pisces. Deception, delusion, paranoia, and confusion. The higher level, and each sign and planet has a lower and a higher level. The higher level is empathy and love and dreams and magic. So hopefully working with that to magnetize through your thoughts and ideas about healing yourself and others, focusing on the goals you want to manifest in your life through positive thinking and feeling the emotions. And the Sun is conjunct Neptune as well, which is very intuitive and creative energy, but can definitely lend a very emotional and sensitive tone to this full moon. The Sun is within a couple of degrees of the fixed star known as Shiat, and that is a difficult fixed star that is connected with loss and sadness and drowning. And so we could feel like we're drowning in emotions, and it is a full moon when emotions tend to run very high, particularly when you have all of those planets in the most sensitive of all of the signs, the sign of Pisces. But you want to work with all of the creativity, all of the love. There are 6 points transiting in the house of creativity, money, and natural resources. And Pluto, which is death and regeneration and transformation, is in the first house of self and new beginnings. It's in the sign of Capricorn, and it's part of a grand trine, which is a very lucky configuration. So Pluto is forming a trine, which is a 120-degree angle to the north node of Karma, which is transiting in the sign of Taurus in the house of creativity, love, and romance. And they are both forming a trine to the moon in Virgo, which is in the house of hope, manifesting, belief systems, and higher learning. So that's a very lucky configuration. Venus and Mars are conjunct in the first house in Aquarius. Venus is at 9 degrees, Mars is at 9 degrees of Aquarius, and Venus is at 11 degrees of Aquarius. And that's a very creative, very romantic and inspiring and passionate energy. The two will be traveling together until the beginning of April. Venus will transit in Aquarius until April 5th, and Mars will be there until April 14th. And this is bringing magic and creativity and love to the new age of Aquarius, because Venus and Mars, along with, Venus and Mars met up at the very first degree of Aquarius on March 5th, and that set off the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction that occurred on December 20th, 2020, which brought in a new 20-year vision of the future, of community, and of brilliance. It's been hard to connect to that, but it is still very, very strong in the sky. And on the day of the full moon, there's some very lovely aspects. Venus forms a helpful aspect to Chiron, the wounded healer, and that occurs at 12:24 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Later that day, the sun forms a helpful aspect to Pluto, the planet of transformation, and that occurs at 3:37 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then on the following day, Venus will square Uranus at 7:16 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That could bring some twists and turns. It could be very fun and innovative. It can be a bit disruptive, but it is a very emotional full moon. It's a very magical full moon and a time to release the fear so that you can connect to the love and inspiration. Venus and Mars are very magical. They're transiting together for a long time. Jupiter and Neptune are forming a once in more than a lifetime aspect. They meet up every 165 years because Neptune takes 165 years to orbit and is the modern ruler of the mutable water sign of Pisces. So a lot to work with. The Neptunian, the sensitive Piscean energy will be very potent for quite a while because, as I mentioned, the two rulers of Pisces, Jupiter and Neptune, meet up in the early mid part of April. From the 9th to the 12th they peak, but they're still already conjunct in the sky as I do this video. And Venus and Mars are transiting together through the beginning of April. So a lot of love and passion and creativity accessible to us. And it is a lot of Piscean energy because by April 20th, there will also be 5 points transiting in Pisces. Right now, there are a few to speak of now. So a lot of Pisces, a lot of emotion, a lot of water. But in the new age of Aquarius, which can sometimes be mechanical and robotic and all about computers, we need the feelings in order to heal. And we've got them in spades. So thank you so much and good luck and take care.